What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. I'm Josh. Jacob's over there. Andrew's down there. I am back from vacation. It feels good to be back. It feels really good to be back. Baseball's back. I'm back. Guys, do I look sunburned at all? Can you
Yeah,
tell? Or
J
tan? I should say, do I look tan?
Josh, you have on behind you for those that watch the podcast. Josh has a skeleton diagram of the bones in your body as well as the muscle system. Josh, I'm sorry, you're looking a little bit more like the muscle system than the Mr. Skelly than you typically do. Sorry, roasted
Wow.
twice.
That's red.
Wow. Wow.
That's really
I
red.
I'm happy to report that I actually like my face might be a little red because I did just shower. Um,
Hmm.
but
Oh, we got bad data.
I did not get sunburned
The entire time?
the entire week. I maybe a little bit on my back, but I don't think I really got sunburned the entire time.
Did you find the cure, the best sunscreen in the world? Is there a brand you need to shout out? A brand that we need to get sponsored by or something here?
No, it's I think it was copper tone, I want to say, and it
Okay,
was either
copper
30
tone.
or 50, but the key to all
Mm,
sunscreen usage is using lotion and not spray. Spray is a scam and it doesn't work,
mm.
especially when you're outside and the wind is blowing. It doesn't go on your skin if you didn't know that. So lotion up inside before you go outside and you will not get burned.
You say spray is a scam?
Scam. Spray sunscreen is a scam. I think the companies use spray sunscreen to sell their aloe products. Hot take.
Whoa!
Wait. Okay, wait. We're quickly divulging into something that resembles
This
a
is a
Joe Rogan
conspiracy theory
podcast.
podcast.
This is
Exactly.
we are not Joe Rogan, guys. We wanted to take a
Okay,
layer
okay,
back.
okay, okay.
No,
But
I like it. I like it.
I
Bring it in. Come with
But
the takes.
anyways, for
clip
the
that.
listeners, yeah, right, clip that exactly. For the listeners out there, I was gone last week. We were in Florida for a little beach vacation. Um, it was a good time. But boys, I have a question for you. Talking unlimited budget,
Hmm.
where would be your number one choice to go on vacation and why?
Let me up your question
Ooh.
and give you a question.
That's a terrible answer.
How about where outside of the United States?
That's fair. I
Because
kind of assumed your answers would be out of the
okay.
US, but you never know.
It's easy. It's easy for me, and I've said this since high school, and I've never
Ooh.
gotten a chance to go, and I had an opportunity to go in May of 2020, and COVID struck 2 months before. So everything was shut down, couldn't end up going. But Spain, I can speak the language. I feel like I would have a good time there. Um, Besides Barcelona, no one knows what they're saying in Barcelona.
Barcelona.
They're speaking like some weird version of French in Barcelona. But everywhere else, I want to go. I want to go to Sevilla, España. That is where I want to go. And I want to see a Sevilla game. They are currently
Hmm.
in, all right, over under for Sevilla in the La Liga table.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, I'm a Real Betis guy. Come on. Where
Oh,
there
we're
are
talking, so we're
there's
talking Sevilla City player. We're talking
uh, uh,
Seville
yeah.
football
Oh,
clubs here now. Okay.
oh. I mean, today was the derby between Sevilla and Real
Yes,
Betis.
I
It's a big
know.
day.
Wow,
Big
there
I
you
day.
go.
Come
know.
on. Come on. Yeah. So assuming we're all Sevilla fans, that's a very strong imposition. That's like assuming everyone in New York is a Yankees fan,
Ooh,
except Juan Soto. But
no.
the I'm a Real Betis man. I wear green. I wear green. I don't wear red. Get that crap
Wow.
out of here.
Wow.
Go Real Betis. Yeah.
Wow.
Andalusia soccer is some of the best,
There you go.
and the food is phenomenal too. Go to Sevilla. If
That's
you have
right.
not been, it's worth it.
You were just there. I can't believe that all of a sudden we're talking about not only La Liga, but Sevilla
Yeah,
versus
the
Real
derby.
Betis, the Sevilla Derby. I don't know if there's an actual name for it.
I think there is. They said it on
Let's look it up.
TV.
It is the Derby Sevillano, the
There you go.
Sevillan Derby. Ooh. El Gran
Ooh.
Derby.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the big.
Yeah, okay.
See.
Okay. I like it. Well, okay. How about this? We gotta find a way to get to not only Sevilla but El Grande to be
There
to
you go.
see some good football out there. Yeah.
Twice a year, twice a year. So we probably missed it for this year, but we have two opportunities next year.
You never know in the Copa too. If we get some
It's
extra
true.
matchups too. Yeah. Well, Andrew, what about you? I mean, you've been to Spain
Say,
before.
and Andrew's a little
Yeah.
bit more of a world traveler in the group, so I'm curious to hear his answer.
Well, I've been watching White Lotus like anyone else, and
North
I
Carolina.
really want to go to Thailand.
Ooh,
Thailand has been on my list of places to go. The whole East Asia, Myanmar. Uh, I don't actually maybe not Myanmar. They got some stuff to figure out there.
Well,
Maybe I'll give it 30 years, let everything settle.
there you
But no,
go.
Thailand, Vietnam.
current
Vietnam
events.
is top on the list. But yeah, that I would say a Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, maybe into some Singapore too. That would be the to round it all out.
Okay.
Sweet.
Nosh.
I'm going on this part of the world. Uh, this one has been on the
America.
top of my list for a long time, but it's Banff, uh,
Mm.
in Canada. It's number one. It's been number one on my list for a long time. Um, Shout out to Peter McKinnon. That's kind of a deep cut, but yeah, a road trip out there would be super fun. You can hit some national parks on the way, and then end up in Banff and do some serious hiking, and it's very, very picturesque, beautiful. So I'm sticking over in North America still. I would like to go to Europe eventually, but Banff is probably number one for me.
Can't
Yeah,
go
and they
wrong. No
speak
Soccer.
English in
Yeah, right.
Canada.
It's true.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Quebec. Quebec would
Whoa,
would beg to
whoa.
differ.
Banff is
Right.
further from Quebec than I bet
I'm
North
aware.
Carolina is from Africa.
Oh, that'd be.
Wait, no. What? That's
Let's
that's a
get some
that's
let's
no,
let's
Jacob,
get
that is
some
so wrong.
let's
I
get
That
our
is
know.
so
producer.
wrong.
Can we get our
You guys
producer on
are
that?
okay, okay. I'm sorry for trying to make a joke, but okay.
No, that's funny though. That's
That
funny.
was that was
You said
definitely
Canada. You didn't
what?
say
Banff?
but
Okay, well, how far is Banff from Quebec?
I'm looking it up right now.
It is
40
oh, it's
hours.
it's it's 4,000 kilometers.
okay. I think 4,000
Shortest
kilometers
distance
from
from
North.
Africa
Well, I mean,
to
where in Africa? But even the closest point would maybe be
to
Morocco. I don't know
it's
the
about double. It's just over
yeah,
double.
yeah.
Wait
Okay.
a second. Oh,
Well, you're gonna count like an island that's
the
off the
shortest distance
Oh,
between mainland United States and the African continent, Quadi Head in Maine
okay,
to El
sure.
Beduza in Morocco, 3,100 miles. I'm right. North
No, you said
Carolina.
North Carolina.
But I bet. Okay, okay, okay. Oh God. Oh, it's
Okay.
close. It's close.
It's
From
closer than you'd think. I'll
North
give you that.
Carolina to Africa, and then we got a 3,600 miles. I'm right. I'm right.
Wow.
I'm right. Anyways, we're too deep into this conversation, and I think where we need to actually all three of us take a journey to right now is to actually stay in the country and take a little trip to New York City. Because
My
here,
torpedo.
Nash, let me throw you this pitch real quick.
Let me
Name a Brewers pitcher.
Aaron Savale.
All right, name a Yankees hitter.
All of them.
All right, here you go. I'm throwing the pitch. You're
Let me
hitting.
get my I'm getting my bowling pin.
Okay. Oh
There it
shoot, that's
goes.
gone. That's gone.
317 feet to right
That's
field.
gone. Home
Yep.
run in .5 out of 30 ballparks.
Oh,
Doesn't make any sense. First game, I will
Mickey
say,
Mouse.
first game of Yankees Brewers was a fantastic game. Freddie pitched all right. His fastball was a little out of control, but hey, he gave up two pop-up home runs and otherwise struck out a decent amount of players too. The next two games we don't need to talk about. We don't need to talk
Yeah.
about today's game, and we're
Nope.
recording. We don't need to talk about the game that happened yesterday.
Nope.
But what we will talk about for a sec How about those bats? What is up with the Yankees bats? They, like you said, Nash, you said bowling pin.
That's
They
the
look like
perfect way to
bowling
describe it.
pins.
It's what
And
it
the
looks
Yankees
like.
have hired an astrophysicist or something of the sort,
MIT grad.
MIT grad, to develop a different barrel of the bat where there's more wood there, which doesn't make any sense how it's legal. We haven't dove into it. I mean, the
It
MLB rule
is.
book, it's legal. It's
For
legal.
now.
I said illegal. Did I? Maybe not.
No,
No,
you
it's
said
legal.
legal.
It's
You
Okay,
said
yeah.
legal.
Yeah,
legal.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Yes.
it's it's one of those
It's
like
so weird. It's
they
weird.
they they took a rule and they kind of bent it a little bit. Like there is very strict specifications within what the size of a bat can be, but there's not as strict of dimensions for how it needs to be shaped. It's kind of like no duh, put more wood in where the player hits the ball normally and it'll go further. Like you're telling the thing that gets me, right? Like it's legal and that's fine. The thing that kills me is like, of course it's the Yankees doing it first. But like we've been using the same bats for how long? And nobody has ever tried this until now, and they've hit 15 home runs in like 20 innings. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's kind of like good on them for figuring it out first, I guess. But like we have some guy named Kenny, I think that's his name, who's an MIT grad who's on Yankees payroll just designing bats specific for the players. And they're the first team in 200 years of professional baseball
Good
to
for them.
oh, we should move the barrel to where the
Good
ball gets hit.
good for
I
them.
I 1000% support what the Yankees are doing.
Yeah, so do I.
I
Good for them.
like
Until they ban it, good for
innovation.
them.
Yeah, it to me it's exactly like the shift. I don't know the first team that did the shift, but clearly before, people were, the shortstop was in their place, second base was in their place. Some brilliant team said, "Hey, we should align our infield to where people hit the ball most." This is the exact same thing that the Yankees are doing with their bats. Instead of putting the bat, just in the shape it's always been, they said, "Hey, what if we put the most amount of bat in the place where people are supposed to hit it?" Boom, what a concept. It reminds me a lot of the innovations that we've seen in golf. With, that I feel like that's a sport where, the irons, the drivers, all of the clubs and equipment that guys are using are being improved every single year. And it's crazy to me actually that baseball hasn't seen as many improvements in the bat. Or I know there's probably some advances in gloves. I know those do also have their own specifications, but I do think maybe we're now in this era where, and if you're not able to change how you're positioned on the field, or there's more rules with your lineup, maybe now the edge is in your equipment that you're using, and the smarter teams, the teams with bigger pockets have an edge, and that's where they're able to win. And Josh, you texted our group chat today about, why isn't every team doing this? I think every team will be doing this. It's just the Yankees moved first. The tricky thing though is I don't think every team can just switch to these bats. I think you needed to have done spring training with them, practiced with them. It's almost like if you gave a professional golfer a driver with a slightly different layout. If you have such a precise professional swing, any sort of adjustment to it is going to take time. So I don't know if other teams can catch them this season, but guys, I like the Yankees this year. Uh, what else? Do you guys also support this, or do you also come down on the or do you have come down on the side of, I don't know, this is kind of like cheating?
No, it's not cheating. They didn't break any rules. Until it comes out that there's literal cork in those bats, I'm for it. And good for them for using them. Like you said, it would be hard to adjust to just mid-season switch to a different bat. I'm sure players will definitely try now that they're seeing this. I also need a little bit bigger of a sample size for both the bats themselves and also Brewers pitching.
Yeah, we'll get
Um,
into that.
Brewers pitching looked terrible other than Freddie. Other than Freddie, literally everyone. Um,
McGill had a good inning.
McGill
Well,
had a good
yeah,
inning, and that's because they brought him in even though it didn't
it didn't
matter.
matter.
It was
No.
like, here, have a have some SoRare points. Me, who played him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, he remember from last week's ep. Oh, that's right, Nosh, you didn't watch it. Um, I bought a 2025 Trevor McGill. So
So did I.
yeah,
I'm
there you
also an
go.
idiot.
He'll get
Too
his
bad
saves. He'll get his
too bad the Brewers
saves.
will never need to use him since they'll be
Yeah, I was
down
gonna
20
say
runs every
Nah,
game.
that's true.
I should just vault him
You
now at
should
this
vault
point.
him. Yeah,
I
you
should
should.
just
Yeah.
vault him.
I'll s-
So
I'll tell you this. Whatever they're paying this Kenny guy, it's not enough. They need to
it's
triple
No.
his
true.
salary immediately.
It's true.
Um, he might be the smartest man in baseball.
Hmm.
It sounds like other players are already ordering or have ordered new bats. I think Reese Hoskins already has a shipment coming in
I heard
of
that.
of torpedo bats or whatever they're being called. Um, so I'll be curious if other players, other teams have the same success that the Yankees have had. Like you said, Brewers pitching is highly suspect. The window's blowing straight out yesterday. It's 300 feet down the foul poles at Yankee Stadium. So there's a lot of factors that probably went into them hitting a bunch of home runs. But pretty funny that game 2 of using new bats, they broke an MLB record or the franchise record
Franchise
the
record, yeah.
first time since 1999, I think it was, that a team hit 9 home runs in a game.
One
So
short of the record
one short
for
of the
anyone that was
record.
wondering.
It's because
I
Jake
think I
Bowers came in and absolutely shut him down. I think he
I
gave up a home run still, but
I think they're gonna break the record this year.
The
I'll come out and
Yankees?
say it. I think they're breaking the record.
All
They're
right.
like 3 games in. I'll bet some Yankee SoRare player
All right.
really,
do a giveaway.
How
Yankees.
about how about a Garrett Cole?
No, no,
No,
no.
because they won't mint any of his cards this year.
I'll save it for my picks because that might be it's related to what we're talking about. I will give away a player I will be naming later in this episode.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay. I
okay.
like that. I like
Okay.
that.
If the Yankees don't break the home run record.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of so rare giveaways,
Ooh.
we have one. I'm going in close to the mic because y'all need to listen. We have one total entry for our giveaway. One
Come on.
total entry. We had
Boo.
150 people listen to the episode 2 episodes ago. We had just over half of that listen to last week's episode. And we have one entry into our giveaway. And we're not just giving away dirt. We're giving away Zach Wheeler 2025 in season. You don't need energy for that. I mean, I needed energy for this rant I'm going on, but make
Ooh.
sure to check us out on SoRare using the link in the description below. If you haven't already signed up yet, you will get $50 towards the market in market credit and go enter our giveaway. If you win that Zach Wheeler, you won't even need a starting pitcher. Hey, sick. And you can use this $50 to build the fantasy team of your dreams. And if you look at last week's episode, I actually built a pretty solid team. It's going to win me a little bit of reward this week.
Ooh.
I did end up purchasing a Eugenio Suarez last second, and he
Amazing
decided
buy.
to become Aaron Judge for a week. So he kind of slipped into my team last second. So he didn't make the video last week, but he would have made my $50 budget that you could have used by using our sign up link in the description below. So of course, there we have it. Yeah, buy all the
Wait, so
Yankees. Buy all the Yankees.
how do people enter the giveaway?
How do people enter the giveaway, you ask?
Good
That's a
question.
good question. Well, we have a video posted on Instagram. That's right. Maybe a lot of people just don't have Instagram. I don't know. But hey, shout out to the one guy that commented. If that's it, then he wins. Then he wins. But go comment. All you need to do is where do you think Zach Wheeler will finish in the Cy Young voting this year? Obviously, comment your so rare username as well so we can send you the card. And if you forget, that's fine. We'll send you a DM. But make sure to follow us too, because this is where we post a lot of fun shorts that you will see from podcast highlights, and it's a good place to go and hang out on the Instagram too. So that's where we're doing the giveaway. Yes, comment on that video. We'll tweet it out. We'll repost it. We'll do everything we can to get it out there. But yeah, that's how you're gonna enter the giveaway.
Oh,
Unfortunately, he doesn't play on the Yankees. He plays on the Phillies, but it's still a pretty good team.
Yeah,
I
Still a
think
pretty
so.
good team.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think it's time that we do maybe one of our favorite episodes of the year. And it's 2025 superlatives, baby. Get hyped. Get
Let's
excited.
go.
Let's go. Yes, what do we mean by superlatives? That's right. We're picking Cy Youngs, we're picking MVPs, we're picking rookies of the year. We're also picking busts. Oh no, some bad teams, some bad players. Worst team award? That's a new one that we're adding this year. We actually added it
Dang.
halfway through the season last year. And of course, we will revisit these halfway through the season again this year. But I think without further ado, we've beat around the bush with the Yankees bats enough. I think we get right into it.
Let's jump in.
Let's jump
Let's do
in.
it. Let's go.
And I think we're just going to go in the order of how we had the list
Hmm.
on our spreadsheet here. So we're going to start off with AL Rookie of the Year. Nosh, who do you have? Who's winning AL
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year this year?
I'm sticking with the Yankees bats, man. I'm going
Hmm.
Jason the Martian, Jason Dominguez. Uh, he was the picking favorite up until Cam Smith became a thing. Shout out to Cam Smith. But I like players going into the year that have a guaranteed starting spot. I think it takes the pressure off of a player as a rookie. Looking at some of these other, top betting favorites. Some of them aren't even on the major league roster. I know Paul Skeens won it last year, not starting the season on the roster, but Paul Skeens was kind of a special situation. So I like that he has a spot on a very, very good lineup. You got through Paul Goldschmidt, you got through Cody Bellinger, you got through Aaron Judge, you got through Stanton when he comes back. Oh, you also have a top rookie in Jason Dominguez coming at you, probably in the 6 or 7 spot in their lineup. Didn't have an amazing series after the team scored, 36 runs in three
Just a
games
few.
against the Brewers.
A little
But
bit.
it's his first couple bats of the season, so I'm not too worried about him. I'm going Jason Dominguez.
All right. Andrew?
I think we got to ship up to Boston for this guy. Screw New York, man. I don't know. Christian Campbell is going to take the AL by storm. He is currently in contract discussions with the Red Sox after just 3 days of work. 3 days of work, and your boss is telling you, "Hey, man, I think you're ready for a promotion." That's actually crazy. I don't think that actually happens in real jobs. But this guy is playing so well at second base for the Red Sox that 6 hits in for the opening series. I know with one of those being a home run, he's got that power flash. I like a second baseman that can hit. I played second base, so I got to get it up for Christian Campbell. I don't think he's got any competition, by the way. I think it's him or
Wow.
nobody.
Wow.
Wow. No
That's
competition? Well,
it's
I'm
not
feeling good about that because that's exactly who I went with as well for my AL Rookie of the
wow.
Year. Cam Smith, big fan. I personally made a YouTube video about him on February, real quick. February, if you say February, I feel you. I grew up saying February, and in college, I think, is when I learned it was February. Felt like an idiot. Spelled
February.
Febru. February.
February.
Yeah.
Nosh, you were born in that month. You can say it however you want.
I'd say it
Anyways,
wrong.
February 27th, I made a video about Cam Smith. And all of a sudden, he's shot up to number two, I think, in
It's,
the rankings.
He's number one in
Number
according to
one.
Vegas.
Wow, number one. How about that? But no, I like Christian Campbell. He's already hit his first home run. He's fast. He can steal. He can play infield. He can play outfield. Except the other video that I also made about him. I made two videos about Christian Campbell. That's right. One good one and one bad one. But the good one was fun because he did a cool little swim move to swim out of the way
ooh.
of a tag at second, and it was after he made a diving play to start off the game. Big fan, Christian Campbell. I like it. Good pick. What about NL? Nosh.
All right,
Oh
I'll go.
yeah,
I got it. I got it. Because I'm Josh. I'm
Andrew.
sorry. I'm saying all this with love because I'm wearing the shirt that I wore to your bachelor party.
Oh,
Shout out to Jacob for getting it. For we were all wearing different domestic beers on t-shirts, and your boys got a Rep Miller Lite.
yes,
Uh,
sir.
Josh, you mentioned Paul Skeens as being the exception to the rule. I'm sorry, man. History is repeating itself this year. Bubba
No shot.
Chandler is
No
going to
shot.
jump into the major leagues. He's going to do it. He might even be better than Paul Skeens. I don't know. With a name like
Whoa.
Bubba, I love it. I love it. Josh, I'm sorry, but that Paul Skeens, yeah, he was good. He was the exception, but I don't know. Pirates are going to normalize making good on people starting in the minors, elevating to major, and just killing it in the NL Cy Young
You copy my damn
and
sheet.
rookie and rookie.
Oh God, you guys are just
He
picking the same
copied my
player.
sheet.
It's no, it's just
He copied
it's my
my
phone.
sheet.
There we go.
I've seen nothing but good things about Pirates pitching this year. And who else other than Paul Skeens? Well, we got Bubba Chandler
Bang.
coming up. And yes, he's a big, powerful fastball guy. I want to see him win back-to-back rookies of the year for
Yeah.
the Pirates. For pitchers too. For pitchers too. Let's
Yeah.
see it happen. I can't believe we picked the same player twice in a row. And the next coming up, there's a big chance we pick the same player for MVP too.
Probably did.
Yeah.
Oh
Nosh.
God.
But before we get into that, who's your
Did
AL,
you
sorry, your NL rookie? Well, God. NL rookie of
Uh,
the year.
I'm pretty sure I'd just like to give myself some credit. I'm pretty sure what was my claim about the Pirates pitching staff? Top
uh,
eight or something like that?
Top,
Top
yeah, yeah,
10?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Top it. Yeah.
Top 10 pitching staff by the end of the year. So Bubba Chandler winning a NL Rookie of the Year would mean that the Pirates most likely had a top 8 to 10 pitching staff. Um,
probably
I
true.
it's hard to pick something that just happened last year for the exact same team, and he's like the exact same pitcher as Paul Skeens. So I tried to avoid it. I went with Dylan Cruz.
Oh,
The
okay.
Nationals are going to
Favorite.
need
He's the
something to root
favorite.
for this year because I don't think there's going to be a lot. So having a rookie winning the Rookie of the Year would be awesome for them. And I think it's going to be Dylan Cruz.
Yeah, maybe you'll be on the Mets someday.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean, Nationals fans, Mackenzie Gore,
Yeah, they have a lot
Dude,
of great
Mackenzie
young
Gore's
talent.
good.
13 strikeouts on
He's
opening
good.
day. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Nationals fans, you're playing in an unfortunate division is your big problem out there in
Yeah.
Very,
DC.
very
Because your
unfortunate.
young talent is fun to watch. Unfortunately, I have not picked neither James Wood nor Dylan Cruz. I've picked Bubba
Same.
Chandler. So has Andrew.
Great pick.
MVPs, boys.
All right.
Did anyone deviate from the norm here? We have two straight roads pointing towards MVP, but there might be a couple of forks in the road that you want to take away. Let's just say it from the Judge Road and from the Otani Road. AL,
So,
AL, yes, we're recording this after the fact that Aaron Judge hit 17 home runs in the first series. I gotta go with Aaron Judge. What's gonna
yeah.
stop him? He's got a new bat that can hit bombs. He's playing with a short porch in both right and left field, and he's playing for a really, really good Yankees team that if they made it back to the World Series, I wouldn't be surprised with the help of Aaron Judge hitting 50 plus. That's right. He's doing it
Oh yeah.
again. He's doing it again. You know what?
I'll
Hear me
rate
out.
I'll say 60. I'll
I
go
was gonna
60.
say,
I'll
Oh,
Aaron
bid
Judge,
60.
you heard it here first on the batting. Maybe you didn't hear it here first. This might not even be that hot of a take. But Aaron
how
Judge
about
is hitting 60 this year.
I'll do you one better. He's breaking Bonds' record. He's hitting 74.
74
Whoa.
with the bowling pin?
Wait. Okay. To Aaron Judge's credit, he was not using the bowling pin. He's using a normal bat and still hitting home runs,
He is
He
like
using
doesn't
a
need
normal.
it.
You're right. You
460
are right.
feet.
He doesn't need
The
it.
one thing that will stop him is an injury. So hopefully
Oh,
that doesn't
boo.
happen. I
We don't
think if
like
he
that.
gets more opportunities as a DH, he'll be fine. I also picked Aaron Judge. It's really hard to not pick Aaron Judge. He's the betting favorite, and he started off the year hot, very hot, and I don't think that's going to change. I'll throw in another hot take for you. Best hitter of our generation.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, who's better than him?
You could argue, yeah, like he's a better
You
average than
could
Otani
argue Ohtani,
usually.
but Ohtani hasn't played as many seasons as
Yeah.
Judge has.
hmm
Yeah. Bryce Harper.
I mean, if you go to his baseball reference page, it's kind of nuts.
It's wild.
Like he's not just a home run hitter. Like he hits for average,
Yeah.
which is insane considering he also hits a lot of home runs. It's wild.
I've had the opportunity to watch him in person. He looks different than every other guy on like when he walks up to the plate, he towers over the catcher and the umpire. He's usually the tallest player you can see around, and he when the ball goes off, it's a different sound. This is 2 years. This torpedo bats were just a dream in that scientist's head. He just hits the ball hard. I love it, and but yeah, I think he's gonna win back to back, certainly.
Yeah, he makes baseball bats look small, which
Yeah.
like Giancarlo Stanton's only an inch smaller than him, but is he, like has the forearms of freaking Thor.
Yeah.
But something about Judge, yeah. Something about his stance, something about how he makes the bat look like a twig and still hits the ball, like you said, now it's 460 feet. Yeah, that's why. No,
Let me
and well, Andrew, are you going with Judge as well?
I am, yes.
Okay,
I'm
yes.
diverging on the next pick, but lock
me
in
too.
Okay.
Judge.
Me too.
I was gonna say, this two-lane road might be similar for the World Series picks, but you might see a couple forks in the road down there too. So
Let me
NL,
before we jump
yes,
to NL, let me read Judge's career stats real quick. 52.6 WAR, over 1,000 hits, 318 home runs, career 288 batting average, career 406 on base, 607 slug, 1.01 OPS, and a 174 OPS plus.
that's
By the
Kind of like
way,
crazy.
should be good for the Hall of Fame.
he's
Yeah.
5 for 10 this year with 3 home runs. He's slugging 1.6 and a 2.1 OPS with a 461 OPS plus. Didn't even know OPS pluses could go that high, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
what?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's
Obviously gonna
insane.
come down, but what?
Obviously, it's
Is
been
it?
3 games, but like, yeah,
Is
is
it?
it?
Yeah.
He
Just
got
give him a
pinch hit
bowling
for
pin, you never
today.
know. Give him a bowling pin, you never know.
It's true. Will we see a 550-foot home run this year
Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth style home run.
out of Yankee Stadium?
He hits it to
Uh,
Queens. He hits it to Queens.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hits it to Soto.
All right. Um,
NL.
Jumping into NL, yeah,
Yes.
I'm diverging.
All
I
right.
couldn't.
Well, I hear. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
I'm now putting on my blinker. I'm putting on my
Oh,
blinker, and I'm going
oh,
into the other lane,
ooh.
and
Oncoming lane?
I'm picking Otani. No, it's a two-lane road.
It's
Oh,
two lane road.
okay. There we go.
Did I say two-lane or two-way? If I said two-way, I don't know. Two-lane, the green wave. It's a two-lane road, and I
A
put on my
one-way street
blinker. I
with two
checked.
lanes.
I checked over my shoulder. There was no one
There's a
coming.
roundabout.
Ooh,
And I'm picking Otani because rumors are there's a
sure.
chance he's going to pitch again. And if he can pitch again and also do what he did hitting last year, he'd won the MVP just hitting last year.
Say it doesn't even need to pitch.
Yeah. So like I can't not pick him. But explain to me why I should not pick him. You guys.
So for me, I think part of the MVP race is a popularity contest, and I think the MLB has a Dodgers problem. I think we're
Ooh,
we're only 5 or 6 games in. They've won nearly every game I think they're playing now, but they're just dominating every single team, and I think they need to take some attention away from the Dodgers to share that love with other teams, and they especially need to do it in New York. So part of this pick is honestly a thought that MLB needs to prop up other teams in the NL that aren't the Dodgers. So I think Juan Soto is going to get his trade induced MVP, and he's finally gonna get to that vaulted stage. But honestly, I think it's gonna be similar to this year's NBA MVP race, where I think the best player is probably Otani, but that might not be who wins the MVP this year.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting
I like
take.
that. I like that. Um, my
Josh, you shuffling?
like 66% of my reasoning is I didn't want to pick Judge and Otani for solely for content. Um, so I'm going with a name that we haven't talked about in I don't know if ever on this podcast.
Oh.
But I think he's kind of underrated, kind of forgotten about a little bit. I'm going Fernando Tatis Jr.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm kind of going with the same idea, a little bit of popularity contest. He's very popular. He's kind of got that flair to him,
Oh yeah.
which I feel like plays a part in MVP, not only being the best, but also having a personality along with it. Didn't stop Paul Skeens from winning everything last year. But he's off to a great start already. Again, very small sample size, 3 games into the season, but I think he's gonna have a really great season this year. I think he's putting the weird suspension year, but finally in his past. I know it's been a couple of years now, but um, it feels like it takes players a good year to 2 years to come back from an injury or a suspension or all that kind of stuff, on top of bad publicity. So I think he's finally got all that in his past, and I think he's going to be right up there for NL MVP.
I think if he
Okay.
hit in Yankee Stadium, I think he would be a lock. But Petco Park, man, great baseball park. It's on my bucket list, but man, that is so unfriendly to hitters. I was thinking I was choosing between Soto and Tatis myself, and honestly, the fact that he has to play half of his games in Petco Park, that's what swayed my vote. But I think if he got traded, I think he's an easy lock for MVP.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Okay. Well, there you have it. I'm the only one that went both, so that's fun. There's
You're probably
content
gonna
for
win
you.
though. You're probably gonna win though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. It's like an easy win though. So
It's like a free
I
space in bingo,
Oh,
exactly.
just like
So
a future pick of mine.
if we can hop on over now to the Cy Young race.
ooh.
And again, this isn't much of a two-way street. I think one of the leagues, in fact, has a bit of a battle. And we're going to talk about the AL first. So we'll talk about the NL, the one-way street. That's a one-way in the NL.
Oh
But how
boy.
about AL? Who do you guys have for your AL Cy Young?
I'm taking Mr. Logan Gilbert.
No.
Yes, the second best dog name in the world. Nothing with
Oh.
Speaking of which,
or actually maybe third. We
I was
got we got
whoa, I was gonna
Gilbert the
say, I
dog.
was gonna say, wow.
But no, he's been on my SoRare team for a while now. I've had his card, and he just produces consistent results. I think the Mariners are getting slept on a little bit. Maybe they play, out west, not in California, so everyone kind of forgets that there's baseball teams outside of California in the West. But I think he's going to bring some light on the Mariners, and I think they're going to be a pitching first team. They have a pretty solid rotation. I throw them in the top eight as well. And I think Logan Gilbert locks up the AL Cy Young.
okay,
Yeah,
Mariners a pitching
Andrew.
first team. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Julio has something to say about that. Cal Raleigh
Yeah,
has something to say about that, but okay.
yeah.
big dumper. Uh,
Randy's already hit a home run so
it's
far.
true.
Your bust from last
Sui.
year, 2024
That
bust.
was a crazy situation.
Mm.
Andrew wants birthday cakes thrown in people's faces for home runs now.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Absolutely.
I saw the clips. Don't worry.
Okay.
Andrew, I also went Logan Gilbert.
There we go.
Seattle. We've heard it before. It's really hard to hit there. The weather
Yep.
doesn't bode well for hitters.
It's good for
But it
coffee.
does bode well for pitchers. Again, I may be putting a little bit too much stock into the beginning of the season, but I think starting on the right foot is a huge thing. And him, compared to many of the other Cy Young favorites for this year, Gilbert pitched a great first game. Again, it's the A's, so take it a little bit with a grain of salt. but the A's have some good hitters, and he had 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. A lot of the other top Cy Young favorites for this year had really rough first starts. Nobody picked Sasaki, or yeah, for
Well,
We haven't talked about
we
NL
haven't
yet.
talked about that.
Oh, for rookie of the year,
for
no.
rookie of the
Oh,
year. I
true.
mean,
That's
Yeah.
true.
he had a
Good point.
bad first start.
He had control
Um,
issues
I
in
know,
Japan too,
I
yeah.
know. Just saying. I think it's important though to get that first start going in the right direction. So I also went Logan Gilbert.
Well, okay. Okay. I like it. I have a bit of a reach here,
Oh, I like it.
Oh,
but
Dark
it is
horse.
also a former Cy Young winner,
Mm.
known best for his years with the Mets before injuries really took over.
Noah Syndergaard? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. No, we're going with his former teammate, just as good as hair. In fact, we had hair battles between these two back in the day,
We did.
but um, my guy has since cut down his hair. Still has great hair, but Jacob DeGrom,
Yeah.
namesake, my namesake, Jacob DeGrom, and it, like I said, it. I'm pulling it deep, reaching out and picking up a Cy Young winner in Jacob DeGrom, and I think he's going to stay healthy this whole year. I hope he's going to stay healthy this whole year. And if he does, and he has the stuff that he had in the past, I don't see why he couldn't put his name in the race for the Cy Young. And he's always had the strikeout stuff, he's always had the velocity, and it looked like it was there in his first start, too. Put up a solid 5 innings of work and a decent amount of strikeouts too. I don't remember offhand, but a decent amount of strikeouts too. So that's who I'm going with, Jacob DeGrom on the Rangers now, AL West.
It's I mean, hey, look at what Chris Sale did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think it was his age 35 season last year, and this is DeGrom's age 36 season, so not out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Um,
Breakouts. Oh,
Oh, no.
yes.
wait,
NL.
whoa,
NL. Hello. This is we
whoa,
can skip over NL. Let's
Nestor
be at NL
no.
Cortez.
one. Nestor.
Nestor Cortez, baby.
I think
Ooh.
he's
No.
I
gonna.
thought we were doing Cy Young, not busts.
Oh.
Oh, I thought we were doing Cy
Actually,
Young, not most home runs given up ever in the history
Yeah.
of pitching.
guys, we've already said this name, the player I'm picking.
No, come on, bro.
Yes,
Stop.
yes.
Stop. Why are you
In
stealing
fact,
all of our
he's
picks?
I just have access to your computer. I'm sorry, I hacked it. NSA.
Hacked.
Uh this player is actively being given away by our channel. If you follow us on Instagram, I think Zach Wheeler is winning the NL Cy Young. Come on. Again, my SoRare player, I picked a lot of my guys are I manage on SoRare. I follow their journeys, and Zach Wheeler had a great first start. He was in one of my key lineups this week. Didn't get a decision, but that's all right. Phillies will still be a very good team. And I think he's gonna do it.
Okay.
I also went Zach Wheeler.
Clearly.
Yeah, Andrew nailed it. Again, getting off on the right foot, super important. And he had a great first start. He's been so consistently good for it feels like a really long time now. And I don't think this year's going to be any different. So I think he finally wins Cy Young. He's 34. It's crazy. He's
Yeah.
34.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I was watching him
35
pitch
WAR as a
like I remember
pitcher?
watching him pitch in college, yeah. That's which is
It's
crazy.
insane. That's
Um,
insane.
yeah, yeah. You guys picked the same player. I went with Paul Skeens. Just
Mm.
like Judge, just like Otani, going with Paul Skeens. Is it crazy to be like it's year two of his career and it's the boring pick for Cy Young? That's not fair.
That's
It's
insane.
the second year of his career. If he can stay healthy and do exactly what he did last year, he's got a whole season in front of him. Why not? Can show off some more hardware to Livy.
Oh,
There we go.
maybe put a ring on it?
Mmm. Paul Skeens. What'll happen first? Gets married to Livy Dunn or wins a Cy Young?
How about this? Who's getting a ring first? Ball Skeens
Well,
or Livy
Oh,
Dunn?
well, definitely Livy. Sorry, Pirates.
Oh. Oh. Andrew's not picking Pirates for World Series champion. Got it?
Nope. Nope.
well,
Sorry.
all right. Well, yeah, Paul Skeens,
Breakouts.
NL Cy Young
Yeah,
for me.
fair enough.
Breakouts. I'll start this one because
Ooh.
I've already mentioned him in last week's podcast, and I've already completed a purchase on his SoRare card, and he
Bump.
hasn't done anything for me so far,
Oh,
but that's okay.
bust.
That's
Bust. Bust.
okay
Bust.
because it's Andrew, you are wrong. I'm going
Oh.
with Twins lefty Matt Wallner here for my
Mm.
breakout season. Again, I harped on it last week. I'm going to harp on it this week. He hit 6 home runs in spring training. That's in 1 month of spring baseball. His over under for home runs this year, 16. He's going to hit more than 16. And he's going to hit way
Wow.
more than 16. He's going to break out and hit at least 25 home runs. Last week, I might have even said 30.
Wow.
Matt
So
Wallner.
both of my picks, I intentionally selected someone that has not been an all-star previously. So there's some people that are in their later stages that have had a few bad years. I looked them over, but for this first pick, I am selecting Spencer Torkelson of the Detroit Tigers. He, for going into the season, people didn't know if he was going to go down to the minors. He still could, or be an all-star. There's a lot of polarizing paths that Mr. Torkelson can take. And some in Detroit have kind of, had it with him. And I think expectations were very high for him, to start his career. And I think this is the first year he lives up to it. He's had a great start to the season, and I think it continues. I think he gets his first All-Star, and he stays up in the majors all year, which would be a huge win for him. And yes, I am his sober manager as well.
Dang. Spencer Torkelson, all star. Okay. How about
I
the
like
first
that.
game of the season, hitting a home run and drawing 4 walks for
Sees the
Spencer
ball.
Torkelson?
He's seeing the
He's
ball.
seeing it.
Sees the
Four
ball.
walks.
That's crazy.
Drawing 2 walks in a game is like, man, that's especially if they weren't intentional. You're like, all right, you kind of saw the ball pretty well tonight. 4 walks and a home run. Was that the
Against the
first player
Dodgers.
ever? I don't remember. But yeah, against the Dodgers too.
Against the Dodgers.
Tigers got swept too, which was unfortunate because they played pretty well. They played pretty well, I think. Um, Crazy to watch Mookie, 120-pound Mookie hitting home runs too.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, but let's oh
Wow,
Nosh,
you're just gonna skip me.
let's
Your breakout. You break
let's
out.
talk about your
Um,
breakout.
I also went AL Central and I also went Tigers. This breakout is, I don't know, breakout is maybe I used it a little too loosely. I
Mm.
mean, he kind of broke out, but I'm saying I'm going like above and beyond. Like he's gonna be like top 10 MVP type breakout,
Oh,
which he hasn't done. He was an all-star last year, so maybe not as much of a breakout candidate, but I love this player. I'm going Riley Green. I think he's
ooh.
slowly or quickly becoming the face of the Tigers. I really like the Tigers. I have a soft spot for them. They're probably my second favorite team outside of the Brewers, I think. I think that's safe to say, right? Um, and I really like Riley Green. I've had him on SoRare since he was a rookie. I think I have like 4 different versions of his card on
Oh,
SoRare
then you got a
too.
vault.
Loyalty.
Vault him. Vault him, baby.
I know. I got to do all the things with Riley Green, but um, I know he's had some great seasons, especially the last two have been very solid. But I think he goes above and beyond. I'm going top 10 or 15 in MVP voting this year.
Okay. 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 Top 10 to 15 for Riley Green. I like it
Okay.
though because I also have his so rare rookie card. How about NL? NL, I've done a lot of reflecting recently, boys.
Mm.
And ever since we made our Cardinals episode, I've had a couple of nightmares, couple like tossing and turning nights, and I'm like, I feel like we did them a bit dirty. And the start of the season has kind of proven that. They look really good. Like, pitching looks good, offense looks good, the defense looks good. And for that reason, I'm going with a Cardinal, a young Cardinal. Last year was his rookie season, and this year's going to be his breakout season. No sophomore slump for him. I'm going with Mason Wynn. And okay, okay.
Thought you were gonna
Uh,
pick my bust
okay,
player.
okay. No, I want him to hit for average like he can. He's fast, and his defense is great. I think he's gonna win a Gold Glove. You heard it here. Mason Wynn gonna win a Gold Glove this year, and also do some fun stuff on offense. Andrew,
All-star?
Josh,
All-star?
All Star Mason Wynn, eventually. Maybe not this
Okay.
year, but eventually.
So
Absolutely.
this player I picked, I think he's also going to be an all-star this season. I'll lock in.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to hit on one of these two. I hope both of them. Also in the division, not on the Cardinals, playing for a red team in the Cincinnati Reds. I got Mr. Matt McClain, who I think he's ready. He's ready to become a superstar. No more Jonathan India. Hopefully his face is okay. He got hit by a pretty nasty pitch today. We'll see in the Milwaukee series. But I think Mr. Matt McClain, he's going. I mean, we still got Ellie, but I think he's going to be that Jonathan India guy that a lot of Reds fans come to love, and I think he's going to earn his first All Star this season. And again, he can put up the numbers. He's doing so far, and I think he's going to continue.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
it. Um, I'm going with a guy who got traded last year from a
Ooh.
good team to a bad team, and it's never a good feeling. But I'm going with Connor Norby for the Miami
Hey,
Marlins.
I
Mm.
like him.
Um, I'm a little nervous because he is on the IL currently with an oblique strain, and we all know how oblique strains go in the MLB. I think the biggest thing for young players is simply just getting at bats. It's such an important part of the start of your career in baseball. And he wasn't seeing consistent playing time a ton with the Orioles. If you didn't know, the Orioles have a lot of good young talent on their team, and there just wasn't really a good spot for Norby to play. So, being on the Marlins, he should theoretically get a ton more playing time, a lot more at bats. I think he's really going to show just having some more consistency in his playing time. That being said, if this injury lingers on, that's a different story. So I'm hoping he gets healthy quick and he can kind of get his season rolling. And if that is the case, I think he's going to break out. I think he's going to have a great season because the Marlins are going to need something exciting to happen because I don't think they're going to get a lot of excitement going on
Hey,
there.
you're wrong.
That's
Because
a
the
Ooh.
hot take.
Marlins, as of recording this today, have
Three and
played
one.
3 games,
Are
and
they
they
looking
are
for?
3-0, and they've won 3 games via the walk-off. Can't get much more exciting than that.
That
Three
is pretty
games to
hot.
start off your season winning via the walk-off. And this happened to them a few years ago too, where they just kept winning via walk-off. And it's happening again. So shout out to the Marlins there. How about our favorite, maybe favorite part of the Superlatives episode, where we
Yes.
get to bully a player into becoming a bust this year?
Ooh.
And Nosh, you thought I was gonna pick your bust
Yeah,
for
let's
this
hear
year.
it.
I
What's your
thought you were gonna pick
bust?
my
Sounds
NL
like you picked a
bust.
Cardinal.
You want to start with NL?
Let's
Yeah,
start.
reverse
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Let's
Okay.
let's revert. Yeah, yeah. You know what?
Reverse.
So this guy hasn't fully lived up to the hype. I think a lot of people keep talking about his exit velocity. Exit velocity can only get you so far.
Ooh.
Um, I, I'm not very high on the Cardinals. I'm still not high on the
Oh.
Cardinals. That hasn't changed. But I'm going with Jordan Walker.
Mm.
He's kind of been a little bit of a bust his whole career so far. It's only been 2 years, but I just he just has never really fully got his feet planted in the MLB. I think that continues this year. I think he's not gonna have a great year. I don't think the Cardinals are gonna have a great year. I don't think the Brewers are having a great year. But it's hard to talk poorly on any NL Central team after the Brewers just got absolutely destroyed by the Yankees in the first 3 games of the season. But I don't think that's going to stay. I think the Cardinals are just not going to be very good. I think part of that is going to be because Jordan Walker is a bust.
Okay. I was thinking about picking him as my breakout,
Oh.
Um, it's his third year. He needs to prove it. He does need to
Yep.
prove it.
It
This
is
is his
kind of a prove
proven
it
year.
year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I went with Mason Wynn. I went with a different Cardinal instead, but I do. I could say you could say like you said he's already been kind of a bust, so picking him as a bust again would basically mean his career with the Cardinals is done. He would be probably used as trade bait to go somewhere else, maybe start a career somewhere else like Keston Hiura tried to do.
He he kind of gives off the vibe of like he's either gonna hit like 200 with a couple home runs, or he's gonna hit like 310
Hmm.
with like 30 home runs and be an all-star and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we will see. I went with a former Brewer.
Ooh,
Oh no, Andrew and I picked the same person
no shot.
because they are now playing, which is, in my opinion, a much harder field to hit at. It is windier, it's outside. There's a big tall wall in right field. He might be
Yep.
muted. Oh no, your mic just didn't pick that up. But I don't think he's going to repeat after his last year.
Devin Williams?
I'm going with Devin Willie Adamas as my NL bust. Andrew, you too?
You stole it. I was going to say immaculate grid, Rays, Brewers, Giants. And yeah, I completely agree. The same approach. Again, Giants Park incredibly hard to hit in. That's similar to my logic why I didn't pick Tatis for the MVP. It's really hard to hit there. And yeah, I think Willie, Willie will do better than most of the Brewers hitters this year, but he's gonna far be below the Giants' expectations for him this season. I don't think he's been an all-star. I don't think he's been that bad that they hoped he is. He'd be a good player, but certainly not what they paid for him.
Okay. Okay.
He's
Yeah.
currently 1 for 8.
Yeah. That's they paid a lot, and that's going to be so much to live up for. And did he deserve it after last year? Sure.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
did.
But is
I
he
love
going to do
Willie.
it again? He's such a good presence to have in the dugout. So no matter what, even if he doesn't repeat, that money's definitely going to be worth it. As I say, yeah, that $210 million is probably going to be worth it just to have him in the dugout, obviously. But
It's the same approach that I think some SoRare managers get wrong, where when you buy a player, you don't get their past scores. When you buy Willie, you don't get the 2024 production that he had for the Brewers. You get fresh Willie in your system. And I think it's kind of the Giants are a bit like a SoRare manager. They're paying up for a guy that, had success in the past, but unfortunately that doesn't mean that he's going forward. And yeah, I don't think he's going to have a terrible year, but I don't think he's going to have quite the numbers that we saw on the Brewers.
well, now that we have fresh Willie in our system,
There
let's
we
hop
go.
on
Get that
over
Willie.
to the AL bust. And I want to say I'm going to go first here, and I'm going to brag about this for a bit because, in fact, I bet one of you guys picked this player too. But I would
Probably,
have picked this
I probably did.
player. I would have picked this player before the season started because he had a little bit of weird egotistical drama going on that people try to write off as a non-story, but it might have gotten to his head a little bit. And now the Red Sox have actually moved him
Okay.
away from third base. But Rafael Devers has
Can't
started
hit.
off the year 0 for 12 with 10 strikeouts. You thought Jackson Churio had a bad start to the season? How about Devers? 0 for 12 with 10 strikeouts.
You want to hear something funny? So in the SoRare promotion to start the season, you buy a player, you could
Yes.
win another player. Guess what players I bought in combination with each other? I bought a Jackson Churio and I won a Rafael Devers. So my lineup was atrocious this week. So all those
Yikes.
strikeouts that you mentioned, I'm feeling on a personal level. But yeah, I think you're right, but I hope you're wrong.
So you're between the two players that you won slash purchased. You combined for about 20 strikeouts? Like 17 strikeouts, I think maybe. How many times did Churio strike out today? If he struck
Like
out.
twice, I
Yeah,
think.
You,
twice. Yep.
oh my God.
Yeah, I think
Oh
they had
Are
more
man.
you in the
strikeouts than I
positive?
did hits in
Well,
my lineup.
thanks for bringing his
Uh,
points down a little bit, or his costs down a little bit, so I can buy myself a new season Cheerio.
There you
that's
go.
right. Let's see. Am I in positive territory? I have 63 points. My Brewers stack has 63 points.
Yikes.
With Rafael Devers. If I did not play him,
Jeez.
I would have 68 points. So shout out to me. Shout out to me. Maybe that's my bust.
Yikes.
Well, actually, it's related. I apply the same philosophy that Jacob did. We're looking at players that got traded, big teams spending big money. And that's how I arrived at this player. He's not playing in America anymore. He's playing in Canada, and that player is Anthony Santander. I think they vastly overpaid. The Orioles fleeced the Blue Jays. Blue Jays, we talked about them on the pod a lot last season of who are they going to sign, what people are they going to add. The big
Aaron
names did
Judge.
came to
Otani.
pass, and they're like,
Otani.
we're going to sign Anthony Santander, and I think he's a great player, but I I don't think he's going to move the world for them, and I think for that, again, it's exactly like Willie. They paid for a really good player, but they don't get that production that we saw in the Orioles, and I think he's going to be disappointed up there in Canada.
Have you guys ever heard the saying that like you start to become the people that you're closest with
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
I
maybe.
believe it.
something of that nature? Well, that was my philosophy for my pick. I went with Luis Robert Jr.
Mm.
Um, he's good, don't get me wrong, but you play on the White Sox for too long, and you might start to become the White Sox. I think he's gonna have a rough season this year, and I think the White Sox are also gonna have a rough season this year. I think they're gonna lose over 100 games again. And I don't know. I feel like that would start to really grow on you or like get to you as a player. Like, yeah, you want to like do good personally, but don't you want to win at some point? I guess that philosophy doesn't apply to like players like Mike Trout. But Mike Trout, the Angels are not nearly as bad as the White Sox. And I just feel like he's going to get frustrated that his team is so bad that he's also going to not play very well. I feel like we've used this player in the past before. Maybe I picked him as a bust in the past, and he hasn't really done it. He's been pretty solid. Probably should have been traded last year, but wasn't. So I think all that's going to add up. I think he's going to have a tough season this year.
All right.
Josh, who has more losses at the end of the season, the White Sox or the Brewers?
Oh,
The
come
White
on.
Sox. The
Okay.
White. I'd
Okay.
be willing to bet every penny I own on the White Sox.
Yeah.
More
Be
losses than the Brewers.
That's a
You.
crazy
That's like
take.
saying the you.
That's an insane
That's
take.
like thinking the Brewers are literally gonna go
Let's
60 and 102.
The Mets were 0 and 5 to start off the season or 0 and 7 to start off the season last
It
year.
was
I think it
something
was
crazy
seven.
like
It
Yeah.
was
that.
seven.
Yeah. So, no overreactions yet. Next week, way too early takes coming next
Ooh.
week. Maybe we'll overreact next week. This
Well, I
week
think
we
we
don't
should
need to overreact.
we should start. Let's start with the losing team. We can pump up the champion later, but I
Okay,
think I
okay.
think this
Well,
talk of teams not playing well. I think we should move on to the
all right.
bust category for teams.
All right. So, well, I've picked the team that I think is going to be the worst team, not just a
Mm,
bust in terms of a team, but I could real quick pick a bust team if you
do it.
want me to.
Oh, I kind of did that too. Yeah, I
Um,
Oh,
kind
you got
of.
both.
I picked as my worst team the Rockies. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think it's going to be the Marlins. I don't think it's going to be the White Sox. I don't think it's going to be someone else, like, I don't know, the Angels or someone. Rockies just don't entertain me on the offense and the defense. And I thought for a second that the Brewers were going to somehow get Ryan McMahon on this offseason, but then I remembered that they don't do anything in the offseason.
We pay for
Mhm.
sand.
Exactly. And
We
Nestor.
did.
We paid for sand and home runs. But I I think the Rockies, man. They don't excite me. What about you guys?
I took it as a team that people had expectations for, but aren't going to live up to them.
Okay, well
And
so my team for that then is going to be your Milwaukee. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, that's fair.
I think it's gonna be the Braves. I think they play in a tough division. A lot of people where I live are Braves fans, and they don't have the highest of hopes going into the season. You got to come up against the new Juan Soto Mets. You got to come up against Zach Wheeler hashtag giveaway Phillies. You got to also come up against the nice, young, and improved Nationals, and then also Miami,
Yeah. Division leading Miami.
division leading Miami that will walk you off when you're least expecting it. Miami. I think the Braves might be a bit of a bust team this year, and
Guys,
might miss the playoff.
I'm hitting the panic button personally.
Oh
The
gosh.
panic
It's
button,
been 3 games. It's been 3 games.
but it's how you lose that matters.
It's
This is
true.
it's not like we were competitive in these games. Now, granted, we don't have to play the Yankees
First
every
game.
single game.
First game was
Uh,
competitive.
yeah,
First game came
yeah,
down to the last at bat.
right.
It's
Freddie
true.
can't pitch every single game. That's the
That's
truth,
true. It's
It's
unfortunately.
true.
very true.
And we still have a bullpen too. That's the other problem. But guys, the Brewers are showing some gaping holes throughout the lineup, throughout their pitching. I'm hitting the panic button. I don't think that they're going to win the Central this year. I don't know. Unless they have this crazy Mets turnaround. I mean, it's going to take Brandon Woodruff coming back super healthy, pitching at a very elite level. Their bats, the young bats, starting to improve, really finding their groove. Maybe they borrow a couple of torpedoes. But if that doesn't happen, I think the Brewers they're not winning the Central. Even though the Central, I think the NL Central might be the easiest division to win this year. I think it's the Brewers would struggle to win it, and I certainly think this series showed me, unfortunately, that even if we make the playoffs, we're not real contenders. We're not going to beat a Dodgers. We're not going to beat a Yankees. And I don't know. Maybe that's too pessimistic, but I don't know. I it just it was a so it's like when someone throws cold water on you. It's like just whoosh. It's a breath of clearness, and I saw the truth, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Dang. Would you have picked them before the season? Did you pick them to win the Central this year during our?
I think I did. I think I did.
All right.
Right, but
I hate this. I hate this take. I hate it. I
I
hate
mean,
it.
I hate I
You
hate to
picked
speak
We
the
all
truth.
hate it. We
you
all
We
picked
hate
them
it.
to win the Central, and they played 3 games, and now you think they're going to finish? They're going to be a bust? They're
well,
projected to win 83 games this year. That's not even to win the Central. If they win 84 games and don't make the playoffs, is that considered a bust? They hit their
Yeah.
over.
I mean,
They hit
it's
their
part of
over.
it. It's like what team has the highest expectations that you think is going to do the worst is definitely like one of the takes of a bust team. And
so
like
I think
at what point as Brewers fans are we not okay just making the playoffs? I mean, we've had this discussion before, but
Right.
like I guess
Not
you
for today's episode either, but yeah.
correct. But you have to set realistic but lofty expectations. I think it's important to set high goals for yourself. But at what point is winning the Central not enough to where we are saying that's a bust?
Pat Murphy is not going to accept a mediocre season.
no.
Yeah,
I refuse to accept
I
it.
agree. I agree.
Only good news. I think if because the Brewers play in the Central, we still have hope. But I think it's going to be a close race in the Central. I thought it was going to be Brewers running away with it. But at this point, I'm not ready to say that they're going to win the division. And for that reason, I would
Okay.
call it a
Okay.
bust if they don't make the playoffs.
That's fair.
I will say the
Do you have
Brewers.
a worse team pick?
Uh, I would second the Rockies. The
Okay.
Rockies just
Okay.
we covered them a little when we were thinking about doing the NL West. I was looking at the Rockies as possibly one of our keys to the game, and it was like, oh man, they just
Mm,
don't have anything.
that'll
They'd
be
be
a fun
better off
one.
playing boulders out there.
That'll be a fun right. That'll be a fun one after the season for sure. Nash, what about you?
I'll start with my worst team. I went different. I I didn't pick the White Sox just out of pure not picking the White Sox.
So no one picked the White Sox. Okay.
They have
All
Which
more
is
wins
kind
right.
of
than the
crazy.
Brewers.
Um, I went with the Marlins. I think it's going to be close between the Rockies and the Marlins. I think we are going to have three teams with over 100 losses.
Dang.
White
Ooh.
Sox, Marlins, and Rockies, all over 100 losses. Hot take. Um, but I think for my bust team, this might counteract my MVP voting. I
Mm.
think I'm going to go with the Padres. I think each year the Padres' expectations have gotten higher and higher and higher, and they have not lived up to them once. They just can't beat their big brother in the LA Dodgers. And I don't think they're going to. I think those teams and those organizations are moving in opposite directions. The Dodgers keep getting better. The Padres are not getting better. I still think Tatis is going to win MVP, but outside of him and Jackson Merrill, there's not a lot of other bright spots to look at on the
Hey,
Padres.
Manny had a great opening series, though. I know we
Manny
don't like
Manny
him.
is still a good hitter, but again, he's getting older. It just feels like they can't get over the hump. They have high expectations. They won a World Series in San Diego, but I don't think this is the year that it happens. And in my eyes, that'd be a bust for them.
All right. Well, you mentioned the World Series, the word World Series, and we're way over time here for the podcast. So let's wrap it up real quick, and of course we can hop to a pickle at the end. But World Series champs, we haven't yet talked about who's going to win the World Series yet this year. Is it the Yankees? Is it the Dodgers? Is it someone else? Andrew, what about you?
I'm gonna go Dodgers over Yanks. Dodgers winning.
Dodgers over Yanks. All right. How many games?
Maybe all seven. I'll say all seven.
Okay.
Wow.
They cork a few balls in the different ballparks to make it
Okay.
even. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll hit the reverse on you. Uno reverse. I'm going Yankees over Dodgers.
Oh, so original.
Heyo.
I know. I'm going 6 games. I'm going walk-off home run with a bowling pin by Anthony Volpe.
Ooh. Give me World Series MVP.
Aaron Judge.
Oh, he
Ha!
does it this year. He
Wow.
does it
All
this year.
right. All
Okay, all
right.
right.
Stanton comes
Playoff
back from
playoff
injury
Judge.
for the World Series and wins the MVP.
They're gonna call him
Playoff
Aaron
Judge.
October.
Whoa. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Move over, Mr. October. We got a new calendar coming through.
Well, guys,
I want to
I
go different. Be
have
different.
exited. I'm still on the bypass.
Ooh.
I'm on like I-490 instead of just I-90. And I have the Dodgers losing to your Kansas City Chiefs. Your Kansas City Royals with Bobby Witt leading the team. I almost wanted to pick him for MVP, but I went with
Yeah.
the Yankees instead for MVP, so I can't go with the Yankees again for the World Series. I think the Royals are going to beat them in the playoffs, make it to the World Series. Whether you say it's by fluke, by luck, or by skill, they're going to beat the Dodgers 7 games. Royals, Cole Ragans, baby.
Cole Ragans. Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
Kyle
for the
Ragans.
Cy Young
Almost
discussion.
picked
You
almost picked him
can't
for Cy Young.
Nash. You can't steal that from
I
from
know.
uh from uh
Jake.
from
Jake.
talking baseball. Well,
I
there you
almost
have it.
picked him
There you
for
have it. There
Cy
you
Young.
have it. Let's pickle it up real quick. But how about a round of applause for the 2025 superlatives?
And the
Shout out to
Dodgers.
and the Dodgers for winning
And
the
the
World
Dodgers for winning.
Series.
Win the World
Yes,
Series.
of
Shout
course.
out.
Okay, wait. Dodgers run total. I'm gonna set a line. I want you guys to say over under. 105 wins.
Over.
Under.
Ooh,
Over.
okay. I'll go over too.
I think they're winning a lot of games this year. They're gonna
Yeah,
win a
they're gonna win
lot of games
all of
this
them.
year.
All of them.
Dodgers Yankees World Series. Woof. That's exciting.
We talked
Corked
about
bats.
a lot of players today.
A lot of
Which
Anthony
one do we
players.
use
Volpe.
in pickle? Volpe was probably, yeah, the last one that we said
I like it.
with his walk-off home run
His new
using the
corked
bowling
bat.
pin. Or it's
Bowling pin.
completely the opposite of Volpe. A lefty righty
It's
in
It's
Churang.
Christian Yelich.
NL
Oh,
Central
Uh,
or West.
Christian Yelich.
It
yeah,
could
Christian
be.
Yelich.
It
Yep.
could be.
Oh.
It is the NL West.
NL West.
Interesting.
Dodgers.
It could
Rockies.
be close to 33 years old. How old is like?
Freddie Freeman?
Yeah, he's
I could see that.
he's
Yeah,
older. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
shoot. Shoot. Shoot.
Wow. It's
oh,
everybody's favorite team, the
man, it's
Dodgers.
the
All right.
Dodgers, baby.
They
How
just
old is
they
like? No, Max Muncy's a lefty, isn't he?
I'm trying to
How
think of.
old
yeah.
is a
It's gotta be pitcher.
34-year-old lefty
It's got to be a
righty?
pitcher.
It's gotta be pitcher.
Oh no.
Glass now.
The
Yeah.
Glasnow's a oh
31.
yeah. Oh shoot, you're right. We'll send it.
Send
Just
it. Let's send it because
just
then
get
we
the
can get
pitcher-
Get
started.
a
get the
pitcher.
out
Get
of
a
the way.
pitcher. You're right.
Okay.
Okay, relief pitcher.
pitcher.
I'm
Oh,
thinking
God.
it's like he was just traded for their closer role in Tanner Scott. Looked fantastic in Japan. I don't know how old he is though. Dang it. Oh, he's a righty
Righty
lefty?
lefty.
I thought he was a
Righty
lefty
lefty.
righty.
That's
a
funny.
crazy.
Okay.
Well, let's see if he's a
It's-
relief pitcher. Let's
Is
see
he
if he's a
still
relief.
on the Dodgers?
Wait, no. That's a different. Wait, Tanner Scott's for sure a lefty. Oh no, he throws left. I'm an idiot. He throws lefty.
I was gonna say.
I was thinking backwards in my head. Bats lefty, throws righty in a relief pitcher.
Are we assuming relief pitcher? It
Does
could be
Blake
somebody else.
Trinan bat lefty?
Yeah.
TREI.
Who knows?
Just send him, just in case.
Yeah.
Get the relief pitcher out of the way. Okay,
Okay,
good.
he's not.
good. Okay. How old is Max Muncy?
He's not that old.
He's that
He's
old.
34?
Yeah.
But that's not old. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it is.
perfect.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
it's-
We should have went with that so much. I didn't believe. We could have gone with
Max
that so much
Muncy's
earlier.
34?
Max,
Yeah,
you look
man.
good, but you look good, man. You look good.
Jeez. Wow.
He's been a
Respect.
Brewer killer for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I would not have put him at 34. That's crazy.
I have a SoRare card.
So do I.
Well, there you go. Let us know in the comments below who your superlatives are. Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, MVP.
Shout out to you if you've made it this far in the episode as well, because
true.
it's been a long one. It's been a long
true.
one.
Like I said, let us know. Leave us a rating wherever you're listening to the podcast. Go subscribe to the YouTube and check out the other socials. Go enter that giveaway. You have a great shot of winning. There's only one other entry. So go enter the giveaway. You might just win a Zach Wheeler.
I'm gonna make
So
some
do
bot
it.
accounts.
$17 card.
$17 card. All right, there you have it. Until next week, you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.